Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. Welcome back to the farm. Alright, so taking a look at what we've got, most important thing we have is our barley is finally ready for harvest. So that is certainly the first thing I am going to focus on this morning. Let me hop in my harvester, get myself out to the field. I do have to get the canola that was planted fertilized for certain, but I can do that anytime before it is ready for harvest. So let me get this open. That is the correct door. I just wanted to make sure that I was lined up correctly since I had that challenge the last time I pulled this out of here. So we're a little light on gas, but should be okay. It's hard to see. I'm just not quite far back enough yet. Now we're all set. So should be able to get myself down there to field 7. And so in case you've forgotten, our next VIP order that we need, that we're trying to fulfill here to finish up the level 2 VIP orders that we have, is 33,000 liters of barley. So the big question is going to be, am I going to get that much barley off this field? If not, I'm going to get in a bit of a pickle in that I'm just not going to have enough. I'm trying to figure out where the best place to get myself connected here is. There's really not a great spot. I should be able to drive on the field because it's new. Yeah. So I just want to be careful not to do any damage. But we'll get that done. We'll unfold the harvester while I'm getting ready to go connect to the header. And yeah, we'll see how everything goes with the barley harvest. But the hope definitely is that it will go quite well, and that we'll have that 33,000 liters. So the other thing I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and put out some straw. Barley will produce straw. So then we'll be able to bale this up as well, and that will help us with the next piece we need to deal with. I am liking the really fast movement of the liters into the harvester. Gives me some hope that over this scope of this field that I will be able to hit that 33,000 liters. Because it would be wonderful to get that extra payout and move on, and of course then see what the VIPs want from us going forward after that. But definitely a sense of purpose on the farm with all these important folks waiting for our product. So one edge of the field, over 2,000 liters. By the time I'm back to that corner, we'll be at, I'm sure, 3,000, hopefully at 3,300, and, we'll have 10% of what we need off this field. But we do have to keep in mind the headland is kind of artificially large in its output, because it ends up being a good percentage of the field going around. So as I head up here, I am going to get the GPS set as I go north-south on the field. It looks like, we're not really getting a lot of green, which is unfortunate. I really thought we would have been higher on the yield, but almost 3,300. We'll have 3,300 here before we know it. There we go. And again, we'll get our GPS set. Oops. Hadn't quite gone far enough. There we go. We've got that little piece where the plow went a little too far, but every little bit helps. Wow, it looks like we're really low here. I don't understand. The numbers are not going quite as crazy over here. So it looks like maybe the soil type over on that one side of the field is very, very fruitful, but not quite sure I'm getting quite what I want here. Let me see if I can get back and drop this straw back on the pile. And then at this point, I should be able to get myself lined up and maybe just start going across the field. Alright, so I've got my GPS set and aligned, and this should go pretty smoothly at this point. So again, we'll keep plowing along, trying to take a look, because yeah, this actually looks like it's a higher level, and maybe it is, so maybe it's not spinning as quickly, but you can see it is jumping, you know, in like large groups of liters as it's going through here, because we are getting more to the darker green up here, which is great. Now we're falling back to the yellow, which is that soil type coming down here. But still not super, super slow, so one trip around getting me, you know, a good amount. 6,600. So we'll just get ourselves positioned. Gonna have some challenges there with the trees, but I'll worry about those later. But we'll now get going across, and the question again will become, will there be enough barley on this field to get 33,000 liters? It's going to be the question of our day. So, thinking we'll be at 8,000 liters before we hit the end of this row. And we need, what, basically 4 of those to make it. I mean, I'm optimistic. This is not a small field. That was kind of why we did what we did. I was worried that little bit as the harvester was trying to get itself aligned was going to create what it did. So let me go back and clean that up. Kind of per the same logic. I'll go get it, and then I'll pop back to try to keep the straw at least a little in line with what we've got here. There we go. So made a little bit of a drop there, but pretty nice. 8,700, 93%. So I'll definitely start this next row here, and then we'll go get our trailer. Let's see. I guess to avoid the same problem, oh, you know what it is? It's the width of the header. Let me adjust that. Alright, so that should get us what we need. Just be careful on our distance here. Whoops. We can go a little bit further. There we go. We'll stop there. I don't want to run through the crop. I can ill afford any destruction. So we'll get our grain here. And I think what I may do is I may just immediately take this and deliver it, because I don't think I'm certainly not gonna have more in this trailer. unless I completely forget my capacity. But if I fill this up, delivering it and starting to fill that VIP order makes more sense than taking it back up here to the silo to then just dump it in and take it. So as I get closer, if I get the blessing of having more than I need, obviously I will want to be careful, but right now I don't think we're going to have that challenge. Because I want to say this is, well, maybe it is, because what, 10%? Yeah, so we may actually have more in here than we need, so, but we'll keep track of it, because obviously we'll be able to see what the capacity there is. But we'll have that in there, and we will now keep going. So our second harvester is running. I'm going to fold this pipe up because we do have some challenges on the edge. I may end up running another headland or so down there, but we do really only have a problem with those 3 trees there, so we may actually not have too much difficulty. But I am loving the output of this barley. I'm assuming the straw is going to be as abundant as the yield is of the grain itself. So we may get ourselves set up in pretty good shape for both ends here. For the straw that we need later, for our later levels of VIP orders. But let's see. I want to get this kind of straightened out here. I think it'll be better now that I recalled that the header needs to be adjusted. And I probably could go back a little bit more, but there's not that much there, so I'll go this way and we'll be good with it, because if I have to make another pass or two, it's better than wasting time trying to align myself otherwise. You know, it's possible in the future as we get a little bit more. I may be able to find a larger header for this. Maybe the GPS unit will work. You know, but I'll have to take a look, because obviously it's not as if we have huge fields. So, it may not be possible, but it may also be impractical to try to maneuver things around. Obviously we know it's difficult to get in and repair it in our little workshop. So we definitely have several things working with us, or against us in this case, to kind of conspire about what's happening. Whoops. Well, there's nothing that says we can't move over a row, so I'll go with it here, and then we'll worry about it later. This should get me... Goodness, it is just not straightening out, but hopefully this will work. If not, I guess I'll tap dance on the other end. So I'll pick this up, but at this point, there's nothing sacred about doing it row by row. It's just kind of a organizational thing, but it's not as if I can't see what has been done. So I'm going to go ahead and get this field done at this point, and I will see you at the delivery point of the trailer for sure. I'll hop back in, and maybe we'll either have enough already and still have stuff on this field, or you know, we'll be delivering what we can. So I'll see you in a bit. Back here as we're finishing up, but I believe we are just gonna be shy. We're gonna be so close to what we need to finish the orders, but we're gonna be just shy. So I think, if I had my math right, we needed about 5,900 liters to to get what we need to fill the full 33,000 liter order. So we're about 1,400 liters or so short. So disappointed, but not much I can do about it. So we shall see where we end up here. And there you go, 31,647. So certainly a good harvest. Just unfortunately not what we needed. I suppose I should figure out where I'm going before I go. Alright, so we need to deliver this to the grain mill. So that is in the southeastern center section of the map. So I'll get over there, and you'll get to see us get really, really close. But we certainly have enough time today to continue on and, you know, get our stuff baled, and that may then be what gets pulled off. But I'll see you at the grain mill. Alright, so this is the oil mill that we were at before. Not sure. I assume this will eventually get us to the grain mill. So, the grain mill is the blue dot at the top of the mini-map. So, we're gonna, cut that too close. So that should hopefully clear me up. Yep. I'm gonna get into the cab. Just a bit more challenging to be driving that way. This may be a long... okay. I was worried it was going to collapse there, but it didn't. I do hope this gets us where we need to go. Either that or we're just going to drive around the edge of the map here. I know we need to go up, so I'm going to head this way. So this is interesting, to say the least. And we'll see, maybe when we get up there we'll see another road. I mean, we are at least headed in the right direction here. I was a little worried we might hit the weight limit of the trailer. I hope I can make this, and I hope this is the right way. Otherwise, that'll be even more disappointing. I am slipping a bit, but hopefully this has gotten us near the top of the way that we need to go. Oh boy. Come on. Alright, it took a little bit of effort. I had to turn my differential locks off, but definitely was fighting that for a while. Again, we'll see if this gets us where we need to go. But definitely took some time. And yeah, we're kind of going along this ridge here. If this doesn't get us there, although I'm thinking there's an opening here to the left now that, yep, there we go. That looks correct. So we'll see. There we go. So the grain mill is definitely something that is interesting to get to. So, but we have made it. Now the question is, where do we empty? Is it here? Or somewhere else. I guess we will... Oh, it's probably there. But we're definitely up above the world so high. So here we go. And there we go. We start seeing our VIP order getting filled. Just unfortunately, it's going to stop just short of what we need. 1,353. Let's see. I think I'm going to back up. And then... Okay, so there's a road that way. Let me go that way and see what I see. Because we clearly know how challenging it was to come up the way we came. Plus, this isn't a dirt road. So this may also make things a little easier. Or not. We'll find out. Alright, so we're down here by some fields. We want to go... Well, I'm not sure I want to go this way. Because, yeah, we aren't going to be able to get over the road, I don't think. Well, this might work, so let's see. Because actually we are on this side of the river. Our farm is over here, so I will see... I guess I'll bring you along for the ride, because that's part of the fun here, right? Oh, wait. Well, that'll work. Okay, so... So this road is where we want to turn on in the future. That would have been much simpler than what I did. But, in any event, you got a little bit of the tour of the land over there. So I'll see you back at the farm, because now we know where we're at. So definitely took longer than I would have liked to gotten that over to the grain mill. Again, we're learning the neighborhood, the area. So now I know I don't need to go that crazy way. I'm glad I made it up the hill. I could go ahead and kind of get my differentials turned off again. We'll get ourselves parked. Clearly we're going to need to get some barley going again. I'm going to have to take a look and see, you know, when we're ready to plant that field, if we want to go ahead and replant that as barley. But for now, I'm going to worry about the baling. So we've got the baler. I'm going to stick with the bale size I had. It worked to pick them up. I may regret it when I go transport it, but if I keep the larger 180 centimeters, you know, it's then going to let me have fewer bales to deal with. So let's go ahead and start picking. We've got automatic drop on, so again, we know we do need to stop. So I'll just have to, you know, be aware of that and make sure that happens when we fill things up. So there we go. Alright, so we did have, I'm sure you saw, about 60% full in there, so it wasn't that little bit of barley that gave me enough straw. So I don't want to create a false sense of, oh my goodness, we got really tons of straw. It's not quite as good as that. But, let's see. This may take more effort. Oh goodness, I keep hoping I can get all of this, but it's just not happening. And then my guess is I'm going to struggle to line up on this, and I'm going to just continue to be missing things, but maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, I am, so I guess I'll just get it maybe at the end of the row or something, because yeah, I'm still obviously missing some. But as I go across, I should be able to pick it up. But we'll see what we get, because obviously we had, you know, 5 bales off of the other field. and then we'll see, you know, kind of where things end up. So I'll let you know at the end. I've gotten all the straw picked up off the field. I had 11 rolls, so I put 10 in the other bay, and then the single one kind of tightened up with the 5 there. So we've got everything connected, or collected, I mean. So at this point, we have 7,000 canola, 14,000 in sorghum, and we've got about 3 and some pallets of eggs. We're going to need 5 again for 7,000, which we're not going to need until level 4, so we may just leave those kind of laying there, and they'll just continue to stock up. At this point, planting barley again to get that little bit there on that large field doesn't make a lot of sense. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and target oat on that field, because I need that for level 3 and level 4. I need 38,000 in total, which is, you know, larger than anything that I've got so far. Again, oat may not be as prevalent as barley, as abundant, but we'll see. And then again, because we have 7,000 of canola and 14,000 of sorghum, I just need a little bit. So one of the wheat fields that I'm gonna get rid of at the top end, so these 2 are wheat, I'm gonna plant one of these with barley, and then we'll go ahead and figure out what we do with the other one later. But at this point, tomorrow's probably going to look like fertilize, get this done, and then get this planted with oat. And maybe what I'll do is I'll plant the oat first, and then maybe we'll just fertilize these 2 fields together. And that will allow things to keep cranking along. I have to be careful not to forget about the grass work that I need to do, because once again, if I want to kind of stay ahead of things, I'm going to need some hay. I'm also going to need some slurry, which means I'm going to need to figure out what animals we're going to be dealing with. But I've got a little ways to go here. I've got several levels in between, but who knows what's going to show up once we get rid of the barley in level 6. But at this point, you know, not terribly late, but late enough that I don't feel I have enough time to get another job done. And it's not as if we're in a huge rush here. You know, we want to get things going, but we're approaching 200,000, which is really nice, and that was obviously just from dumping the barley in, and then we're going to get that 59,000 payout in addition once I just get 1,300 more liters of barley. But what we're going to be stacking up to do is really very quickly make a huge dent in level 3, I believe, by the time we finish level 2, because we're going to have collected at least the wheat off of there. You know, and at that point we're going to store it, because if we go sell it, it's not going to count to level 3 until we clear level 2. So we'll put wheat in the silo. You know, obviously I also need to pay attention to what's happening here with the chickens. And speaking of, it looks like we actually have a little bit here. They've run out of food, and so their productivity is going down. So I'm going to go ahead and get them some food. The only thing I've got that they can eat is sorghum, so I'm going to take some sorghum and get that in here to the chickens before the evening, and we'll get them back up to full productivity. Alright, so at this point I'm taking all the sorghum I have, and I'm going to go ahead and get that over there. I think the chickens may take it all. I do forget. Again, it's still early in all my cycles. Over time I'll start to kind of learn what I have, but if I recall, it took quite a bit of feed, and at this point we also have a lot going on there with the chickens as well. If I'm here, we'll go ahead and dump this. We'll see what they take. They'll probably take it all. They will. Alright, and as you can see, not even close to getting in there. And yeah, in the time that went by, they went from 67 to 42. But what we've got here, we've got 2 sets of chickens that aren't going to be at puberty, or aren't through puberty yet. Alright, so here we're maxed out at what we can be, so we have now got full capacity on the chickens, which is also why 15,000 liters is not really doing a lot. So I'm going to have to keep that in mind as I do things as well. So it may take longer than I thought to get all that grain, because at this point we don't have any sorghum, and we don't have things planted, but I'm still going to stick with oats because I need more of those. But then that probably means we're definitely doing sorghum on a couple fields as things go along to try to keep things moving. But at a minimum, we've got a quick plan. So I will see you next time.